Our world is under siege from pollution, in jeopardy with continued danger from oil spills. Grays Harbor, December 88. Placentia Bay, January 89. Oahu, March. Valdez, March. Antarctica, February and April. The Rhine River and the Red Sea in April. The capability to respond to the crises has been inadequate until now. From Victoria, British Columbia, comes the clean ocean vessel. Introducing the COV. This line drawing depicts its simple design and construction. Note the twin hulls in catamaran configuration that create a stable platform. In each barge are located 3 buoyancy tanks and 2 large storage tanks. The contra-revolving drums are 8 feet in diameter and are smooth-surfaced. Each has a separate diesel motor for varied RPMs. The COV is double-ended with 60-degree notched hulls to channel fluid to the recovery drums. Its patented design for recovery is based on centripetal force. The COV is first ballasted by opening seacocks at the bottom of each empty storage tank to allow the ocean water into them. This causes the recovery drums to submerge about a foot into the ocean. After they are engaged, the gap between the drums is adjusted because one drum can slide. The gap is determined by the thickness of the oil. Vast quantities of fluid are drawn or pumped up between the drums and are diverted or scraped off the drums by Teflon scavenger blades and channeled through troughs to the storage tanks where it separates, the oil rising to the top and the clean water in the tanks being forced out the open seacocks. After the tanks are full of oil, the seacocks are shut. During the entire cleanup operation, the freeboard remains constant. COVs are designed so they can be pushed or pulled to the site of a spill by using an available ocean-going tug or other vessel. Time is of the essence. The COV has been designed mainly to function in rough waters, up to Beaufort 6. But it can be ice-strengthened to work unhindered in ice flows, and it's not affected by floating debris such as bark or kelp. It's equally at home in calm conditions. It can work for extremely long hours. The COV can create currents sufficient to draw sludge and oil from under piers or other hard-to-reach areas. The COV is capable of storing large amounts of recoverable oil for later transfer to slave barges for uninterrupted recovery. A special lightweight deck COV could be stored on board oil tankers, not unlike a lifeboat. Inventor Captain James Steele saw the need for a rough-water, ocean-going oil spill recovery vessel. The prototype Pacific Enterprise was built in 1975 and operated successfully by Clean Seas Canada for 3 years. These quotes speak for themselves. It's in a class by itself, Environment Canada. The president of Gulf of Georgia Towing said it changes the concept of oil spill technology. Clean Seas Canada said, of some 102 spills handled, if we hadn't had its services, we cannot see how the spill, impregnated with solids of all kinds, could possibly have been recovered. Heavy oil coming up like a piece of carpet.
On the move in rivers, under docks by washing the oil to it. The operator, after he starts the engines, can leave it for hours without any problem whatsoever. Other smaller skimmers and things, they have their place, but not in a coastal area that's full of driftwood. And I found that this COV will operate just as efficient in a 3-foot swell, and I'm sure it would have been a real asset to any shipping company to carry one of these on their vessels. You know, and I'm sincere about everything I say about the COV because I've worked it and I know just how it goes. Oh, it was beautiful to see, actually. Came up in sheets, just like a carpet almost.
Sadly, the time wasn't right for this revolutionary piece of equipment. The 70s oil crisis was intensified by the insatiable thirst for oil, but at the expense of environmental concerns. C-SPAN bought the company that owned the prototype, but they had no desire to be in the oil cleanup business. And because of the unique design of the COV, when it was tested by federal agencies, it was not in accordance with its patented design principle. In short, the times weren't right. But the times are changing. OSR Systems was created to bring back this much-needed technology. OSR Systems research has proven the COV is the leading edge of new oil spill technology. OSR Systems is dedicated to saving our shores, protecting our environment. Oil spills are a global problem. The COV, a global solution.
Hey, we can do all in one machine what it took maybe 10 different types of apparatus cleanup that didn't seem to work with a flute when it was needed. I mean, and you don't always get ideal conditions to work on these oil spills. And as I say, if you're protecting birds and things like that, peat moss should be spread on the beaches to help them. And when that washes out, we still operate and pick up oil even with the peat moss.
No progress was being made towards a means of dealing with a spill which, God forbid, may occur in such places as the Strait of Juan de Fuca, the deep waters, the rough waters. And my thinking was that we must have something which was, in effect, a stable platform which would be relatively unaffected by rough seas.
Even in my years of running the COV, I always had a vision of someday that, and in the future, I always thought that there would be a great demand for having one of these on freighters or oil tankers or for any immediate emergency that may arise, whether it be a big spill or swallow spill. I was the operator, and I found it to be very satisfactory at all times, and I would recommend it highly to anyone. It really works.